Hello there. We are working on our Bernat Basic Cap using Bernat Mosaic yarn. I'm using the color Waterfall, which is pretty. It stripes from black to dark blue and green. Very pretty colors. And what I'm making is the basic cap. It's a pattern that's free on the Bernat Yarn website. If you go to their website, www.bernat.com, and then do a search for the free ebook Masterpiece, then you'll look for this cap. This is one of the patterns in the Masterpiece ebook. So far, we've been working on the smaller circular needles. The pattern says to do it on DPNs, but I prefer making a hat on a 16-inch circular because it fits just right on the needles this way. And to do the ribbing at the bottom of the hat, that's this part, where the little knit 2, purl 2 is happening. That was what we just finished. And now we are ready to change to the larger needles because I finished all of my ribbing. Ready to change to larger needles. Now, to change to larger needles does not mean that you take this off and put it onto larger needles. What it means is that you get the larger needles in your hand ready to start knitting the next row with. So don't make the mistake of trying to slide all these stitches onto a larger needle. They won't fit and it'll stretch out your knitting too much. So before I get started, I'm going to tink this first stitch because I knit it earlier so that I could secure my stitch marker to keep it from falling off, because if I laid my project down like this, the marker would fall off and then I might start knitting and forget to put the marker back in and then never figure out where it was. So now I'm ready to go with my new needles, so I can take the stitch marker off. Now, I couldn't have done it earlier. Just so you know, if you hear any thunder in the background, it's just a storm in my neighborhood. I don't have a bass drum back here playing effects. And to start knitting with the larger needle, you just start knitting with the larger needle. And eventually you'll get to the spot where all the stitches are off of the old needles and they're on the new needles. And this is so much easier than trying to slide all the stitches onto a large needle. They won't fit because the needle will be too wide for the stitches to go on there. This is the way to do it. Just start knitting with the new needles. Now you notice that I'm just knitting. I'm not purling anymore. And the reason why is because that's what it says with the pattern. It says knit in rounds until work from beginning measures 6 inches or 7.5 inches. You'd make it 6 inches if you're making the lady's hat. You'd make it 7 inches if you're doing the men's hat. And I'm making the ladies, so I need to go for 6 inches. Just knitting. Now, if they wanted you to continue doing knit 2, purl 2, it would have said continue in pattern. In pattern means that you continue doing the stitches that you were just doing on the rows before. But this one doesn't say that. This says knit in rounds. So that means knit every stitch. And that's all we're going to be doing. So I'm going to knit this first round so that you'll see what happens when I get to the last stitch from the old needles going to the new. Because I think it's important to see every part of a project. So you can see now I've got some stitches still left over on the old needle, and what I start doing is I start pulling the old needle like this so I don't have to worry about it sliding off on the tip over there. So I just slide it over like this, and now all of the stitches are going on to the larger needles one at a time. Every once in a while I'll stretch out that other thing a little bit more. Helps to bring it off the needles. I think that the first round of any new step in a circular project is always the hardest. After that, you got it going, man. It's smooth sailing. Now, some people mention about how the mosaic yarn will twist on itself like this. The reason why it does that is because this is a single ply yarn. It doesn't have any other yarns twisted with it. So that's just the nature of a single ply yarn. You just have to be patient with it. Every once in a while, what I will do, if my yarn starts twisting too much like that, is I will start at the ball and I'll run my finger along like this so that all that part there is getting straightened out, and all of my kink, all the twist is coming along to the left. So see how this is all real kinky here? And then this section that's twists on itself so much, I'll just hold it up and let the project dangle and twist around. I'll just let it hang and twist it and let it spin round and round, woohoo, like on a merry-go-round. And that'll help all that twist come out in the yarn. And that makes it easier to work with. So you can do that occasionally if you want to. Since this is a single ply yarn, it just makes it easier to work with. And that'll keep it from twisting too much. It'll still twist on itself just because that's just the way a single ply yarn does. The reason I understand that is because I have tried spinning yarn myself. It's a lot of work. It's fun. Don't get me wrong, but it's not something that I want to spend every day doing. I would much rather be knitting. So I buy the pretty yarn that other people make. Yay! I can get right to knitting this way. I don't have to wait for it to be spun. Awesome! I mean, I went so far, when I was learning how to spin yarn, I went so far as to buying raw wool that had just come off of a sheep and smelled to high heaven, washed that wool and got all the stinky stuff out and sat down on the floor picking out all the little pieces of vegetable matter. Vegetable matter is a fancy word for poo, sheep poo, and weeds and burrs, all the things that are out in nature that a sheep will pick up in its hair. It's a real pain. It's no fun to sit on the floor and pick that stuff out of the wool. So I prefer to buy my nice commercially spun yarn where they've taken care of all of that stuff, and all I get is beautiful yarn. Yay! Much more satisfying. But I do admire spinners who have the patience to sit and do all that hard work to make yarn at home. I just can't do it. I even have a spinning wheel. It's just decoration now. Maybe one day I'll try spinning again. But I'm interested in learning to spin like maybe cotton or something. I think that would be hard though, because they say you have to spin it a lot. And you have to spin it really fast. So, but I don't have to have wool yarn. I like this acrylic stuff. It's easy to take care of. I can wash it. I can dry it. Just makes life easy. I don't have to explain to anybody how to take care of it if I give it to them. I can just say, wash it, dry it, wear it. It's my kind of living. Anyway, here we are. Last stitch. Here's the last stitch on the old needle. Ta-da! All done. Now, my project is on the larger needles. That's an easy way to do it. And then you just toss the old one away. Pop! I'll find it later. It went behind me. Now here, don't forget, you got to put your stitch marker back on. And what I always do is I knit the first stitch of the next row to secure it so that it doesn't pop off. There. Now I'm ready to just knit every row until my hat is 6 inches long from the beginning. So that's where you'll measure from. You will not measure from this point. You'll measure from the beginning of the hat. until the work measures from the beginning 6 inches. So that's what I'm going to do now. You can do the same. Just knit every round until it gets to be 6 inches or 7.5 inches or however long you want it to be. Now the version hat that I am making is version 1. There are 2 different versions of this pattern. Version 1 is the regular basic cap. Version 2 is the slouchy fit basic cap. And I don't want a slouchy hat, I just want a regular hat. So that's what I'm making. So if you want to make the slouchy hat, just read the instructions on the Bernat website and you'll be fine. So good luck with your cap, and good luck to me with my cap. And I will see you guys later. Bye.